All right, we're going to fill you guys a little bit on what you just missed from Chief Erika Shields. We have learned that an officer has died in the line of duty. That officer was involved in an incident early this morning on I-64, hit by a car. While working an investigation, he was trying to remove an abandoned vehicle off of the interstate. We're told that another driver lost control of their car, hit the officer. He was rushed to U of L Hospital, where we're told that surgeons and doctors worked on him for about 10 hours, in and out of surgery, but nothing could be done. Some details on that incident. It happened around 10 in the morning on I-64 West near Mellwood Avenue. Investigators say the officer was out of his cruiser investigating an abandoned vehicle when he was hit by a driver who lost control. He was rushed to U of L Hospital with serious injuries. He went straight into surgery. Again, we're told he was in surgery and being worked on for about 10 hours today. But late today, around 10:30, we got news that there was an update in this case, and unfortunately, it is the worst kind. He did succumb to his injuries. Trimark told us 3 vehicles were involved in the accident. It's still unclear how those other 2 vehicles were involved or the status of their occupants, but we know the LMPD traffic unit is handling this investigation tonight. You might have noticed the interstate was closed in both directions for several hours today as they were trying to piece together all of the variables in this incident. Again, an LMPD officer died in the line of duty today, a very horrific update. Tom Lally was working on this all day today, trying to piece together what happened in the moments leading up to the crash.
There's probably going to be a few accidents there today.
Just after 10 this morning.
I'm actually on one at 64 West at Mellwood.
The officer you just heard from was standing on the roadside investigating a car on I-64 when LMPD says he was hit.
And the caller said she wasn't involved, but that an officer was involved and the officer was laying on the ground unconscious.
Police blocked off the highway as EMS got to work.
We're going to load it on the stretcher, get ready to implement the route.
They rushed him to U of L Hospital, where LMPD says he's undergoing surgery with serious injuries. Just a few days before Christmas, it's a grim reminder for Metro Council President David James.
From just a few years ago when Officer Deidre Mangado was fatally injured on I-64 right around Christmas time. And, you know, our officers put their lives on the line every day to protect and service. And it just makes me so much more appreciative.
And this is far from the first crash on 64 in Jefferson County. This year alone, 5 people died and 221 were injured. And on the stretch by Mellwood, 3 people have died since 2015, according to Kentucky State Police data. Meanwhile, LMPD's traffic unit will continue investigating the crash, which officers say was not a hit and run. And of course, as we just heard from Chief Shields a few minutes ago, the University of Louisville Hospital staff spent 10 hours working on him today, but unfortunately he died. Just before Chief Shields spoke, there was a final salute where they had him exit the building. And something else that Chief Shield mentioned was he had been with the department for 7 years, and he wasn't the first in his family. His dad was a career cop, a family that experienced a loss tonight. Live in Louisville, Tom Lally, WHAS 11, on your side.
And Tom, before we let you go tonight, we want to ask, did Chief Erika Shields say what's next in this investigation? Is the traffic unit still investigating?
So earlier today, we heard that the traffic unit is still investigating. We tried to ask some questions tonight, but she was obviously shaken up and was not taking any questions. So we're not sure, but we'll continue to ask those questions and get those answers, Shay.
All right, Tom, thank you so much.